is approval of the agenda. I have no additions or corrections. I'll take a motion, please.
Motion to approve is presented.
Second.
Roll call.
Sargent?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes. Laura?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, swear-in ceremonies. I'll step down here in just a second for Jeremy Sitker and Matt. Chief, you're first.
Yes.
Finally. Well, I've been trying to get this done for like a month. All right, so let's see. We got a cheat sheet.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I got to read it too. No, I'm going to read this one. No. Hand there. Yep. Other hand up. Good job. All right. I state your name.
I, Jeremy Sipker,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
and will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all of the duties
discharge all the duties of
of Police Chief for the City of Polk City, Iowa,
Police Chief for the City of Polk City, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I tried to get Jeremy to do the next one, but he told me I could. There you go. You got that?
Well done.
Oh, yeah, you'll leave that right there. Matt, I was trying to find you. You're hiding in the back. Don't read his.
Okay.
Because that's unless you want a job. I state your name.
I, Matt Oswagon,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
to
to
the best of my ability,
the best of my ability,
discharge all of the duties of Police Lieutenant
discharge all the duties of Police Lieutenant
for the City of Polk City, Iowa,
for the City of Polk City, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
While he's signing, you got anything you want to say? Either one of you?
No, I'm very excited. I guess I've been doing it for a little while now, but I really appreciate all the support and everything. Really excited also to have Matt here as my lieutenant. Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
Great, it's a great department, and I look forward to working with everybody and growing with the department, so it'll be fun.
Congrats, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for being here, too. Family and officers. We'll let everybody clear. We get a big crowd, then everybody leaves.
Excitement's over.
Segment's over, Ron. I know, right?
That's what I was
All right, next item is public comments. It's time and place for any comments for any item other than those in the public hearing. If you wish to speak, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. The audience wish to be heard. Hearing none, seeing none, moving on to next item, consent agenda. Take a motion, please.
So moved. I do have a comment.
Second. Discussion.
So, not that this gets in the way of item number I, but I was reading through the job description, and I apologize, maybe we talked about this, but with this role coming in-house, and some of the liaison construction site stuff, do we see this having a greater amount of discretion on the vet issues with debris in the roadway, job sites? That also I'm looking at you two guys with the PD, and we kind of struggled with that line on how to enforce that. Does this help with that, or do you see it? I guess maybe I'll ask you, can it help with that?
Most of that comes from home building, so the building inspectors and we as Public Works do work on that. This construction observer will not be observing home building. It's plat and
Development.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Walters, Vogel. Yes.
Motion carries. Next item under business items, action item A, resolution 2020-19 approving Lake Plat 2 plat. Who's here to speak to that?
Good evening, Caleb Smith with McClure, representing Todd Christie Gray here at Lakewood's Plat 2. As you know, we've been working on this project for, figured out, 15 years now. Finally, at the point now, we're ready to get this thing moved forward. So preliminary plat in front of you kind of reflects the last just under 10 acres of ground. Plan is very consistent with the original plan approved years ago. Only minor changes have been to accommodate final permits and things like that. So some lot widths and things that just adjusted that initial slab to accommodate that, but generally it's very, very similar. I believe at this point in time, all comments been addressed with staff. Happy to answer.
Kathleen?
Yeah, all the comments were addressed. I guess a couple things I want to just briefly mention. This plat, Whaling Tunnel and Parker Boulevard, was constructed. There's a fee allocation that was signed whereby this developer does share a part of that. They did pay a portion of that when the church site was developed, so the remainder of that would be due in full when the final plat is approved. And also, with this plat, Edgewater Drive is going to be paved and constructed. This will kind of instigate the need for Bruce Lefko to pave his. He's aware of that, but just, I guess, to keep you aware of that. And it would also kick in the Lakeside Church's completion of their driveway to Edgewater once it's paved and their sidewalk along that street. So kind of instigates a few other things. So I just thought I would mention that as well.
Yep. Questions, comments from council?
So I guess from my perspective, any concern with the length of, I didn't know it was 15 years. That's amazing, but guess it says in you. Any concerns with the stops and starts and the different approvals?
Well, they kind of retooled the whole thing when they came through with the PUD.
Okay.
Because originally when this went through, Davis Street was going to go through and connect, was going to go through where Parker Townhomes is. That was then cut off on the townhome. So they did retool it when they rezoned it to PUD.
Okay.
So that's more recent.
And this plan is consistent with, I know the Drakes had some meetings with the neighbors, and that it's consistent with what was shared. I think that was rezoning.
That was the PUD amendment.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I said the only thing that's changed is we've got final bricks, like we're talking inches of adjustment and stuff like that.
Okay, I just don't want any neighbors to be surprised. I think it's a positive surprise, if anything, but given all the,
Yeah, no, we haven't, because this is just the preliminary plat, staff in the city has not actually seen the building elevations or anything. It's more site plan related, so the preliminary plat's more covering what will be the public improvements. In other words, Edgewater, Roosevelt, and then the utilities.
Yep. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2019-19, 2020-19.
Second. Any further questions or conversation? Roll call, please.
Walters,
Yes.
Vogel. Yes. Dvorak, Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Thanks, man. Item B, resolution 2021, granting financing authority to the Board of Natural Waste Authority.
Metro Waste Authority has asked all of its member cities to authorize financing new facility. And just so you guys know, they're requesting to borrow and refund bonds, and then also to increase their debt capacity. So that is what you are approving tonight, the resolution in front of you. Their facility is strictly paid with user fees. So if your user pays for it. You guys have any questions?
So a little backstory. I think I've mentioned this as this is probably a big hurdle in a year and a half plus long conversation. So essentially, and I mainly bring this up because there's been some news articles previously. The recycling or some of the processing, get some of these terms wrong, was done by a private entity. They operated as if they were the only game in town, led to the discussion of bringing it in have since that decision was made and even some time had passed. Now they've started to try and drum up some support for not going this route. It's $50 million worth of financing authority. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
For a $24 million facility. The refinancing is a part of that. So it's bringing in-house what they had previously, for lack of a better term, outsourced to the tune of $750,000 a year. So it is a big, $25 million facility is a big investment, obviously, regardless of what they had been paying. But I've been very impressed, and as someone who's critical of certain regional entities, this isn't one of them, and I appreciated, no expert on this stuff, but it does seem they've done their due diligence, gone through every option, and finally got to the point where weren't comfortable with the position that they were in previously, and the lack of flexibility that they had. So going this route with the facility there at Grimes seems to make a lot of sense. So.
Questions, comments, motion, Ron?
Any thing about this, what this would do to garbage rates? Because somebody's going to have to pay for it.
Yeah. So it went up 2 cents from, right? 3 cents.
Recycling did.
Recycling did. I think it's going to go up, but the dynamic around recycling and garbage processing has changed so much that it probably would have anyway. But I can't say that, this is not going to have an impact. I think it will. But again, it's, they've used the analogy, do you want to rent your house or do you want to buy your house? They chose to own their facility, own the control, own the responsibility. I don't know off the top of my head what the lifespan is, but again, they're, even if you put in some increases in there, if it's a 20-year facility, it could theoretically pay for itself based on how much they were paying the private firm that was doing a lot of it. That doesn't really answer your question.
Well, and common sense tells me it's going to go up. You're borrowing $50 million or whatever it is. Somebody has to pay somewhere.
Any questions, motion?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vogel? Yes. Dvorak?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Winters?
Motion carries. Item C, engagement agreement for bond counsel not to exceed $12,500, Dorsey and Whitney LLP for the city's proposed general obligation borrowing for certain capital fund projects.
This would be for the street overlay project. Council has requested that we get working on this project for financing, and that is what is in front of you tonight, is to approve an engagement letter. Do you guys have any questions?
Motion.
So
Second.
Roll call.
Vogel?
Yeah.
Dvorak?
yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item D, first reading of ordinance 2020-300, amending sewer rates.
For you tonight is a proposed ordinance addressing the sewer rate increases that we have discussed at our last 2 council work sessions. I've taken a little bit different approach on this, and I'm certainly welcome to feedback from the council. But in the work session discussions, we talked about putting the burden more on higher end users and less on lower end users. That was kind of the option that the council decided to go with. So the availability fee was going to be $17.30 per 1,000 gallons, would be $6.05. And then the Rock Creek fee was going to be reduced from $15 to $5.30. My recommendation to the council is, because since the availability fee and the Rock Creek fee are stable, steady fees, why can't we just consolidate that into one fee instead of having a separate fee? So the proposed ordinance in front of you is crossing off the Rock Creek fee. The availability fee would be increased to $22.60. That dollar amount comes from the availability fee and the Rock Creek fee being consolidated, and then the usage fee would be the $6.05. Does the council have any questions?
I think that's all just fine as long as we have on the first bills, we're able to put that on there. That's what this fee currently was the Rock Creek, and now it's actually in with availability, because that's the only thing is when people see something different on the bills.
Right.
Is just making sure we communicate that. I'm sure that thought about that already, but more than one time, maybe first few bills, if you will. Just my thoughts.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. I'm excited about this, or at least as excited as you can be on sewer rates. Anyway, but I do think this is a big correction. I would label it as a correction. And the communication is key to this, just so people understand better what we're changing and what they're paying for. Obviously, there's going to be some other numbers we pulling, so makes sense to communicate them holistically. But I really appreciate both the PFM's study behind this. This isn't us, throwing a dart at a board, picking a number. It's based analytically. It's based on what I would consider standard practice in a lot of other places, and maybe you've labeled a little bit better too. I think. Again, we'll probably catch some noise, and so we'll apologize to Jenny and some of the other folks for that. But it really is a better structure, I think. Better way to move forward.
Any questions, comments, concerns? Motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel?
Yes.
DeVore? Anderson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item E, second reading of ordinance 2020-200, amending 165.21, indicate Board of Adjustment shall consist of 5 members. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Vogel? Yes. DeVore?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item has an option to waive the third and final reading. Not to. Anybody questions, comments, or motion on that?
So
Second.
Roll call.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel?
Yes.
DeVore?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Tough vote, Dave. Sure, Jesus. Motion carries. Item F, Snyder and Associates invoices for services in December 2020 in the amount of $13,400.50. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet?
yes.
Walters? Vogel?
Yes.
DeVore?
Motion carries. Next item, reports and particulars. Staff, you got anything tonight? You already spoke. You're out.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Go ahead. No, you're good.
No, I have
You're
nothing
hard time.
additional.
Yeah. Everything good? Anybody? Mike? Library? Back there all quiet?
Nothing new.
Go Polk City? No. Sit there and be quiet. All right. Council, got anything?
I just wanted to officially congratulate Chief Lieutenant here for being officially sworn in, and welcome again. Welcome for the first time. Looking forward to your service, and thank you for your answer.
Down here?
Welcome as well as a shrewd move, waiting for the real McCoy and not going with Dave last time.
I know. I didn't work see.
The only thing I had, so at the last, I don't know, the Capitol Crossroads stormwater should have a report according to their last update in the MAC meeting in April. So something that we may want to obviously utilize, but I don't know what it's gonna entail, if it's gonna be a change.
Will be for us. Don't have anything.
Well,
If we want to adopt it.
I don't know if what they'll have will help us start a new stormwater, if that's the route that we're going to go.
When does that come out?
April,
Okay,
It's supposed to provide model ordinance,
okay.
something that they're looking for the entire metro to adopt, but can adopt all, none, some. Considering we don't have anything, it's probably worth doing. Take consideration in adopting a new stormwater ordinance, which could be help us with the storm.
similar to what they did with fire codes a couple years ago.
Do you know what night we rescheduled P and Z for?
We do not have a night yet.
Okay, so we are kind of having an issue with planning and zoning regarding having a forum for March.
Yes, and
So-
depending, I have a call into Polk County because they may be able to wait till April.
Okay,
The Snetzler wants to wait till April. So then that just leaves any other potential projects
Okay.
out there. So there may not be a March P&Z.
okay. I just wanted to update the council on that. And then we do have a neighborhood citizens group scheduled in April. I would like that group to help make some decisions on that group moving forward. I know we have some terms expired, and we have some neighborhoods that are lacking representation. So I'm going to pull that group to kind of establish some rules and procedures for them, and hopefully we can come back to the council shortly after that meeting. But just giving the council a little bit of an update on those two groups. That's it. Got nothing else? Nope.
Okay. Only thing I have is to thank Dave for keeping the seat warm for a couple meetings. While the first one was planned, the second one certainly was not. And appreciate those who reached out. Everything, all is well. So with that,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
all in favor? I guess I just
I'm sure.
I did.
So,
Did you really?
tomorrow.
Let's bring it back in.
Okay,
I think I know.
I would have spoken.
Okay, I looked down there, so.
I know, I took the first.
Yeah, you're good. I'm sorry. I
No,
couldn't.
I was
Okay, all right.
But they would, if you're gonna.
I was like this, because I always leave.
Is that how you ran the ship last week?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
look.
you got us all
Just like totally